So we are here today at Glastonbury Abbey, and it's literally across the road from where we were staying, which is fabulous. But as you can see, there is not a lot of the abbey left. Just a number of spaces with a few remnants of what was, but if you can see the size, it's really hard to show you the size. I'm going to go a little bit closer shortly. If you can see the size of that building there are some people right in the middle taking photographs. This was probably the largest abbey in the whole of England at the time, until the time of the Reformation, when they all came through and destroyed all of the churches. They did so here as well. I don't think all of the damage that you see was done at that particular time, but a fair bit of it was. There is a legend here, of course, that King Arthur and Guinevere are buried, where, and I'm going to go in there shortly, where the altar would be, which is right down that end there, on this site. So there's a little plaque there that says, here lies King Arthur. And of course we are in Glastonbury, where they call this place the Isle of Avalon, because historically the hill that the tower stands on could be seen from a distance, and the low-lying areas were covered with water. And even now, if it rains, a lot of water still sort of sits on top. And even today, if you were sending a drone up, you would see areas that are still a little bit covered with water. So here's a bit of a map of the area about what it would have looked like in 1539. It would have been absolutely amazing. So from that, this is all that remains. Look at the size of those walls. I'm going to go closer. So I just mentioned King Arthur. So we've got a little sign here that says site of the ancient graveyard, where in 1191 the monks dug to find the tombs of Arthur and Guinevere. Very much disputed, but I like the story. Let's not meddle with a good story, shall we? Look at the intricate artwork on that stone. The stonemasons did amazingly carving into these stones. Wow. So I'm standing on a platform here, and the artist's impression of what it would have looked like back in the day in all of its glory. So this is a lady chapel interior, celebrated for its fine carvings and painted decorations. The architecture represents a transitional stage between Norman and early English. All internal wall surfaces and sculptures of the chapel would have been richly painted. In the Middle Ages, the walls were lime washed, which helped to preserve the elaborate decoration underneath. Freaking stunning, just takes your breath away. How they built up with like bricks and things to make that curve, and the little faces up there. Wow. Some old postcards. Okay, more to come. So I believe what we are coming up to, and I want you just to have a look at the back area there, but what we are coming up to is the entrance of the chapel. So this is the entrance. I'm going to walk up these steps. And you are looking down the rest of it. Holy moly. How big was this thing? It was ginormous. Wow. So I've just walked up the steps there, and here you have a sign that says remnants of the west wall of the nave. So yes, this whole area was part of this church. I can't express the enormity of this place. I think it's even hard to try and get that from a recorded video. You have to actually be here. So this is northeast pier of the crossing or junction of the nave. Choir and transepts was vaulted by Abbot Richard Beer, who also inserted inverted arches to strengthen the tower, as seen at Wells Cathedral. So this is where I'm standing, the crossing point. That's where I entered, all the way over there. There. God. Imagine the cost of this place. When they built it, the labour that was required. And here we have the sign at the site of King Arthur's tomb. In the year 1191, the bodies of King Arthur and his queen were said to have been found on the south side of the Lady Chapel. On 19th April 1278, their remains were removed in the presence of King Edward I and Queen Eleanor to a black marble tomb on this site. This tomb survived until the dissolution of the abbey in 1539. Now, I previously showed you a patch of grass kind of over there where they say that in the 1100s they found the actual resting place of King Arthur, and then they would have placed him here just under the high altar, which is there, just there. And I'm now walking out of the church, and if I turn around here, you get the view. Oh, you get the view from the other side. Does that kind of show you how big this was? I didn't actually want to come here this time. I thought, oh, I've done this before. I don't need to see it again. But I think coming here today has given me a new appreciation. My memory of what I thought was here has faded a little. And I see it quite differently now. What do you think of this place? Tell me in the comments. Has it moved you in some way? Do you have an appreciation for it? I've been to England a few times, and we've gone through many big chapels and churches, and it's not my favourite thing to do because it just continues to show me how much wealth went into the churches and how the poor were always the ones who were left to starve while the churches gathered as much wealth as they could. And if you go to the big ones, it's just, yeah, horrendous. But it is history. Okay, thank you for watching.